Hi VC, how are you all doing? George, back with another video. 10 LPs, turn this down. 10 LPs over the last couple of weeks I've got. Well, I've got 11, but I'll keep one back. Just like show 10. Wee bit of music on there. So, 2 folk, 8 jazz. And I'll fire ahead now. So, last maybe 3 videos, possibly I've been into a new folk artist. His name's Sam Lee. And he's had 4 LPs out, and one of them's really hard to get. I've had a watch on it for a while, and there's sort of no copies of this album around really, and so one appeared on eBay. It was the same seller selling it, and it turned out it was Germany. So he had it on eBay, appeared on UK eBay, and he had it on Discogs. And it's pretty pricey, you know, by the time you get, because it's getting quite rare now, the price is a wee bit high for it. And then we've got to pay the postage and then 20% tax. So it was hanging around there for a week or two on eBay, and I finally, I bought it direct. I recognised the company that was selling it, and it was a company in, I think in Hamburg in Germany, and I bought it direct, so I maybe got £2 or £3 cheaper. Anyway, the artist is Sam Lee. This is Sam Lee and Friends in Time. Was it? The Fade in Time. There's Sam there. So Sam's an English folk singer, artist. He generally records old British, UK folk songs, and makes them a wee bit done in a more modern style. So we've got a wee custom label on that. I've cleaned the album, so I've got a new sleeve on it, and it's just the inner that you can't read it. Something else in there, something else sticking. Oh, it's just the download code. 6, about 12 songs on this, and this was first released in 2015, so it's 9 years old now, and there couldn't have been, I think it was probably pressed in Germany, and that's how I got a copy. It couldn't have been many copies pressed. There's none on Discogs or eBay. I've had quite searches I've put out to get it. Can't remember how much it cost me. It probably ended up about £70. There or thereabouts. But I'm really taken by this guy. He sings in a quite unique English old folky style. And so that's Sam Lee and Friends, The Fade in Time. And I'm glad to eventually track a copy down. So the second folk album is one of my favourite folk rock bands from Edinburgh. They're called Blue Rose Code, and they played close to here, a adjacent town, small gig, about 2 weeks ago. So I hadn't bought the album. I mean, sometimes it's how many LPs do you want of that artist, and I wasn't in a rush. But I went to the gig, and the album's there. And Ross Wilson's the guy. It's his band really. It should just be a Ross Wilson band, but he's called his band Blue Rose Code, and Love something, and he's signed it there. So that's the album. I think it's on sort of some form of pink vinyl. Sounds really good. So Ross, Blue Rose Code. He's a bit like Van Morrison really, you know, a younger Van Morrison, and he sings in quite a Scottish accent, not quite as broad as the Proclaimers, but makes a point to singing. I mean, all Scottish, even English singers don't normally sing in their accent, and they'll speak properly. And but Ross puts a bit Scottish into his voice, and it's really good. So that's Blue Rose Code, and the name of the album is, I don't know. It doesn't even say it on the, Bright Circumstance. Good album. Right, so 8 jazz albums. So I traded some LPs into the shop. I'd end up with some doublers, so wee bit credit. And so I picked 4 LPs out, and this is the first one. So this is Ebhard Weber. It's on ECM, so it's all German artists. It's on the black ECM label. It's from 1988, and Ebhard is a bass player. Fantastic pick there. Picture, photograph, drawing, artwork. Really good album, really enjoying it. So it's called Orchestra, but there's just an orchestra plays on a couple of tracks. One track on side A and one track on side 2. So the side 1's quite long, and the first song lasts for 12 minutes 20, and there's 4 other tracks. So the first track, you've got the orchestra, and you've got Ebhard on bass and percussion. You've got 2 flugelhorns, 2 French horns, 2 trombones, a bass trombone, and tuba. And the other 4 tracks, Ebhard just plays bass. There he is there. Side 2 starts off with a bass track just by Ebhard, and then the orchestra come in, but slightly small on the last time. Bass, 2 flugelhorn, 2 French horn, bass trombone and tuba. The next track, One Summer's Evening, it's just Ebhard again on bass and keyboards, and the last 3 tracks are just Ebhard. I'm probably not pronouncing his name properly. Eberhard Weber, but really good album. It looks like 5-string bass there, and absolutely brilliant, absolutely really good. So really enjoying that, and glad to have any ECM record in the collection anyway, always good. So it must have been 4 years ago when I first watched, 4 or 5 years ago, YouTube videos, and John, what's his name? John Bellingham. What's John's second name? Can't remember. Anyway, he showed this album, Oscar Peterson, Hello Herbie. It's the Oscar Peterson trio with Herbie Ellis. And John mentioned this album has just been sounding really, really good. And I tried to get at the time, and it was maybe coming in too much with postage or whatever. But my shop had it in there, and I paid £8 for it. And yeah, it is really good, really good. So you've got Herb Ellis on plays guitar, Oscar Peterson from Montreal, where my dad was born, on piano, and then you've got guitar and bass. And this was recorded, I think, around about 1969. It was recorded in Germany, and it was recorded on the MPS label, but BASF tapes obviously sponsored it in some way, so the sound quality must have been for their tapes or a demonstration tape or something at one time. So it actually sounds really, really good. They do a Wes Montgomery track, Hampton Hawes track. They do 1 track by Oscar Peterson. So 7 tracks. And John's right, really, really good sounding LP, and for £8. Can't go wrong. The next album I got out of the collection was Hubert Laws, and he had two of his albums in the shop. This is from, I think about, it's on CTI, 1970, I think 1970 probably. Now, most of the CTIs are gatefold sleeves. It's 1970. You know, in America they have different plants. They've got 2 or 3 plants sometimes issue their albums, and this plant, it's a 1970. It's from it's probably not first issue, but it was issued in 1970 without the gatefold. So Herb Ellis, Hubert Laws plays flute, absolutely beautiful. I think Ron Carter's on here. Bob James plays piano, and it's just a really nice album. It was recorded at Rudy Van Gelder's, and great artwork, really cool, smooth, and a good listen. So he's got another album there in the shop. I might pick that up. Again, £8 or so. And the fourth album I got from the shop was, it's Billy Cobham, the drummer, famous jazz drummer. Now this is more like jazz fusion, and it was recorded about 1970 something. 74. It's on Atlantic. And this again for a drummer is another fantastic album. A great lineup too. We've got John Abercrombie on guitar, Michael Brecker on woodwinds, Randy Brecker on trumpet, Garnet Brown on trombone, Billy Cobham on percussion, George Duke on keyboards, Lee Pastora on Latin percussion, John Williams on acoustic and electric guitar. Again, artwork fantastic, and another belter of an album, belter. So really enjoying this. And all the songs, at least I thought that, were Williams and Cobham done them. So yeah, really enjoying that. Nice wee change to just get some different stuff in. Jazz fusion, but it's not a hard listen fusion album, and really enjoying that. Change your record. Right, so the next 3 albums, Andrew Hill. Maybe you don't like Andrew Hill or whatever, don't know why, because he's such a fantastic piano player, pianist. Yeah, so I picked up the last 2 weeks 3 albums by Andrew Hill, and this one's called Spiral. From 1976, recorded in 75, Son Arista, with its subsidiary Freedom Records. Great wee band on this, and when Andrew Hill has a band, you know, sometimes it starts cooking it, and a fantastic band on this. It was recorded in 75, but it was recorded in New York, and with Lee Konitz, Ted Crewson, Cecil McBee, Art Lewis, Robin Kenyatta, Stafford James and Barry Alshaw, I guess, on drums. Yeah, this is a US copy, and it's pretty a cooking album, this. And generally the good thing about Andrew Hill is he's focused, and they're all Andrew Hill most of the time compositions, and I just think he's fantastic, and there's so much in his music that you'll never tire and find new things, and it's just yeah. Michael Kuskuna produced the record, and yeah, Andrew Hill, Spiral, fantastic. Next off we have Faces of Hope. This is Andrew Hill, just solo piano. It's on the Soul Note label, and yeah, solo album. There's 4 tracks, and this is from 1980. And this is Andrew Hill getting a wee bit more arty, a wee bit out there, a wee bit as far as you can on piano. 4 tracks by Andrew Hill, recorded in Italy. So after Blue Note, most of Andrew Hill's albums were either recorded in Japan, Italy, or Denmark, and obviously there's odd one in America. So this is Andrew Hill, Faces of Hope. Absolutely great piano. And the next one, Andrew Hill, Homage. And this is on the East Wind label. It's a Japanese, that's it, the insert there. No Obi East, that's the East Wind label. Nice card sleeve. So this was recorded in 1975. And 7 tracks. 1 track by Duke Ellington, the rest is Andrew Hill piano. Now this is different solo piano again. This is Andrew Hill almost making a classical piano, and well, looks like it there a wee bit too, isn't it? Again, just showing off how really a great pianist he was. So it's nice, a wee bit, and that's what Andrew Hill gives you, you know, he gives you something different every time. So Homage by Andrew Hill from 1975. He was quite prolific round about 75 when he came back. After Blue Note, 1970, 71, he sort of disappeared a wee bit. He toured America, I think, but without recording, and worked out at a university, the music department obviously, and yeah, so Andrew Hill, Homage. Last but not least is an LP I've been wanting quite a while, and my local record shop's got in stock. He's got the 12-inch. I think he's got this album's been released in quite different format. Well, 12-inch. It was first released as a 10-inch in France, and in America it was released on a 12-inch LP. So the 10-inch was on one side, can't remember the name of it, and there was other music on the side too. Anyway, it's Miles Davis, Ascension pour la Faute, I don't know, Elevator to the Gallows, I think it translates to. It's obviously a movie soundtrack. So this is, my shop had this in too, it had a brand new copy. I don't know how much it was. I mean, it's went for as much as, I think, £100 on eBay or Discogs, and it was showing a mid-price, about, I don't know, £60 or something, brand new anyway. I clicked on eBay and there was a copy there. It's been played once or whatever, and got for £30. So it's a triple, this is a triple 10-inch copy. You can buy it as a double album, single album. The original is a single 10-inch, and I've been hanging off really just to pick up the Sam Records all analog treble A, but not got round to it. So this, I think, is on the original, shows the original Fontana label. So this is Miles coming out his hard, but this is quite a changing album for Miles Davis. This is him going really into modal work, the first time he had sort of done that. He's sort of getting out the hard bop era, and so we went over to France, they got him over and they played the movie on the screen. I think you all know anyway, Miles Davis just played along to the scenes, which is a great way to actually play a soundtrack as it's running, and that was recorded. So this has got, obviously the main album is side one. It's from 1957 originally. This is probably a 2018 copy. Tells you there somewhere, yeah. And basically the two other LPs are alternate takes normally. There's the odd track, I don't think it really appeared on the album. So we've got Kenny Clark on drums, and their three other musicians were French musicians. So there they are there. That's it playing in the background. Miles Davis, Elevator to the Gallows, and yeah. Glad to eventually get it. The Sam Records one would have been obviously a goodie, but there you go. Okay folks, thanks for hanging around. If you've hung around this far, just going to start watching now. It's just started the American Open the last day, so this is me now, 2 o'clock till probably, it's 2:20 now, till 12 o'clock tonight or whenever it finishes. So it looks like what's his name? Chambeau, is it Chambeau? DeChambeau is going to win it, I think. 3 shots clear. Anyway, have a great Sunday, guys, and a great week. Catch you sometime. Bye then.